All right, for my last player prop here, it's something that if you guys did listen to the Dream Pod, I had this on my list already, and that was going to be the Jalen Hurts under on his rushing yards this week. And obviously, we'll stay in the same game here with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, the Pittsburgh Steelers have been a team that had to prepare for player, a scrambling quarterback, obviously being in the same division as Lamar Jackson, right? So they're number one, very familiar on how to contain scrambling quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts isn't as fast or maybe, of course, as athletic as Lamar Jackson. So I think he'll be a little bit limited here in this game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But also the fact that, we read all about the A.J. Brown stuff. Will there be an emphasis about getting him involved in the passing game? And also, you still have Saquon Barkley in the backfield there for the Philadelphia Eagles, and we know what he's been able to do for this team throughout this season. Um, I know that he's gone up and over this number, or I should say he hasn't gone up and over this number in 3 out of the last 4 weeks. I know he did last week against the Panthers, but we talked about how bad the Panthers rush defense is. But now you're going up against a Pittsburgh Steelers team, like I mentioned, that defensively is very disciplined. I have TJ Watt out there. He should be able to track down Jalen Hurts. And I think Jalen Hurts, again, just the lack of speed for him, I think that only goes well for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense here. So I'll take Jalen Hurts here under 37 and a half rushing yards in this game as my last player prop here, Sleepy.
All right, so I listened to this last night on the Dream Pod, and everybody makes a pretty good case for this one. So I'll make a case for the other side, and I'm not saying that he's going to go over.
Sure.
I just want you guys to understand kind of how Philadelphia operates because I watch every play from the Eagles each and every week, and I can tell you this, that when the Eagles, Jalen Hurts in general, are missing one of their key players, and one of those key players this week's going to be Dallas Goddard's out. Jalen Hurts struggles. And if you go back to the game last week with no Goddard out on the field, he was absolutely lost. He was taking sacks. It just AJ Brown wasn't getting the ball. Jalen Hurts looked bad last week, and I've noticed this that games that AJ Brown has missed, games that Devonta Smith has missed. When you take any of his star guys off the field, and even though Saquon hasn't missed a game, I'm telling you it would happen too. There's just something with Jalen Hurts when you throw a wrench into his system doesn't really go necessarily well. So I do worry that after last week, all the sacks that he took, all the hits that he took, that he does take off this week if he's a little indecisive on where to go with the football, because it could end up with the same result like last week against the Panthers. And if that's the case, Munaf, the Eagles are going to lose this game against Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh's defense is relentless. And when you have guys like Watt kind of just breathing down your neck and you hold on to the football a little bit too long. And that's really what's been Hurt's issue is holding on to the football, not necessarily knowing where to go. He's getting sacked. So it could lead into a strip sack, could lead into a fumble. So it's not like I want to make a case that he's going to go up and over this one. I don't want to do that. I just want to caution people that it might be a little bit scary because I have a feeling he's going to have to take off a couple times in this game. As far as scripted runs there, Manoff, for some reason they're just running this really bad play where it's almost like a wildcat type of quarterback sneak. It's snap it to him, let him try to run through the A gap. He doesn't get anywhere on that. He ends up losing yards there. So, that could help you as well with your prop, the fact that he may lose some yards here. So just keep an eye on that. It's going to be interesting to see how Philly kind of bounces back here after a poor performance last week. But if Hurts looks anywhere near like what they did last week, Philly's going to lose the game. So not against it, not for it. Just want to go ahead and throw that out there because I do watch the Eagles a lot. So
There we go. Going like yeah, this is I think it's always a great perspective to get something on the other side of things and let the listeners decide on that. But yeah, great breakdown there for Jalen Hurts on his rushing yards for this week. There are 38 and a halves out there consensus. DraftKings, Bet365, BetMGM, Caesars all have 38 and a half out there for his rushing yards. So again, always get the best of the number.